Hi everybody, this is my first try at this. Welcome to my apartment. Please pardon anything that I forgot to move out of the way that's ridiculously messy or strangely childish. um, Hopefully my children will stay asleep and restful while I do this. We'll see how it goes. So today I am just going to give a little bit of a chest opening series. Something you can do to relieve tension but also to keep lung qi flowing and lungs and chest feeling good and functional, because we all know how important that is right now. So, things to remember. First of all, I'm going to look at my notes. Pardon my gaze. So, when we think about chest opening, the thing that I most love to tell people or remind people is it's not forceful. So, chest opening is not, oh, my chest is open. It's letting yourself feel width, letting yourself feel a very mild engagement of the shoulder blades on the back, just enough to feel centered and grounded, feeling the space, and really doing it with relaxation, doing it with awareness of 360 degrees around your body, all feeling open and free. So you shouldn't be tight. You should be able to feel the air move in any direction inside yourself. Okay, so we are going to start with really simple, just some shoulder rolls. Really mild, forward, up, and back. It doesn't have to be huge. Where you should start is in a place that feels like it's loosening you up, but doesn't feel like it's challenging you in a way that makes you feel sore or in any way uncomfortable. And then you're just going to go the other direction. And you can do this as long as you want. I would say at least 10 to 15. Now I'm going to turn off my phone. Forgot about that. In each direction. But really, I mean, you could sit here these days for, who knows, 30 minutes rolling your shoulders. But don't make it strain. This is really just about finding where your range of motion is and letting it move within your range so that as it moves, it naturally finds a little more range of motion. So that's where we start. The next thing we're going to do is press through some acupuncture points around our collarbones and just below. And this is for opening, but this is really where we're thinking about lung qi, about breath, chest health. So we're going to start in the nook where your sternum and your collarbone meet, that little hooky part. There's a point right in that divot. This is the final point on your kidney meridian if you're an acupuncture kind of person. And you're just going to do some gentle circles. It should feel a bit tender. This point is often translated to elegant mansion, the mansion being the chest, and it keeps kind of this palace of your chest and the chi within it open and healthy and circulating. It's an amazing point as well for trauma. So if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling like your breath is just held, this is a wonderful place to start. And as you move out, you can kind of get in here. There's some earth points, some spleen and stomach points, but really, I want you to trace along and get to the outside to your lung points. So lung 1 and 2 are in a little diagonal line. You can kind of feel, ooh, this bony point here. That really resonates for me. And that is about where, that's your core process. If you don't feel it, that's okay. You can just feel for some tenderness, but as you move your arm up and down, you should feel this bony point. And then, roughly about an inch or so in, just into the ribs, is lung 1. Sorry, my movie went dead. I hope this is working. And you can just massage through here, really anywhere in that pec tissue. You're going to get this feeling, but these are where those lung points are. And you're just going to keep rubbing and rubbing. It should feel tender, and tender is okay. This is going to keep that chi flowing. And then you can just do a little brush out through the thumb. Move down that whole lung meridian so it goes on the outside of the bicep, through the crook right by the bicep tendon in your elbow, out the thumb. Just keep it moving. And then you can go to the other side, get into this side. I'm not going to do this real time because you all want your lives to move on, but this is the idea. All right, so now the next thing we are going to do is stretch our pecs against the wall. You're going to have to see more of my chaotic apartment for this part. I'm going to take you over here. So, pec stretch. It can be different for different people. For some people, reaching out to the side feels like a pec stretch, and that's enough. A lot of people might want to start with your arm bent, and you can face the wall. So right now, I'm not really in a stretched position. I'm just getting a ground, and then you can move around the toy kitchen, You have to move your body away from your arm. For me, arm bent doesn't feel like much, so I like to straighten my arm out, move these eyes hooks, come against the wall, and then I open my body away from my arm. The opening the body away is key because that will give you a true sense of where your stretch is. Try not to let your shoulder pop up. I feel mine a little bit, so I'm going to come back, ground my shoulder blade, and just open a little more. You don't have to be pressed against the wall. There's no extreme of this stretch that makes it better than anything else. And you should feel some resonance through the hand, the forearm, if you have a tension there like I do. And take some breaths here. You can either count at least 30 seconds or count 6 or 7 deep breaths. Do more if you'd like. And then just close back to the wall. Give yourself a little shake out, and you can go for the other side, which is going to be harder for me to show, so I'll let you do that part on your own. Now, the next thing we're going to do is right here. All right, one of my favorite things, lying on balls. I imagine every single one of you has heard me ask you to do this at some point. Pinkied high bounce balls are my favorite. They've been stolen into Violet's room right now, so I have one of those and a tennis ball, and I'm going to make do. But these are what I love. They're cheap. They're easy to find, although I qualify that for our times right now. Hopefully easy to find. And the points you want to get are right in between your shoulder blades. One on each side, so you don't have to be in an asymmetrical position. New York apartment floors can be tricky. If you have a rug floor, it helps your balls not roll away as much. Gonna lay down, roll onto your back, take out your hair clip if you have one in, and we're just going to shimmy 1 in, shimmy 2 in, and relax. Lovely. After a minute or so, you can pick up your pelvis, scooch a little bit, find a new point. Everybody's what they call usher points, the points that really speak to you, are going to be a little different. But find whichever ones you like. I usually do 3 or 4 different places. I don't like to go too far down my back because then you get into a point where the ribs are looser, less stable, or maybe the organs are less protected and the balls can feel a little intense unless you do them with a lot of precision. So I usually don't go too far past my shoulder blades, but it's a wonderful feeling. And then one more thing we're going to do is a chest opener with a foam roller. My long foam roller lives in the office, so I'm going to make do, and I'm going to hope you understand my modifications, but hopefully you have a long foam roller. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. If you do, this is the way you will do it. I will also show you a way with the shorter one that is not as much my favorite, but is an option. Your long foam roller hopefully will go from your tailbone to your skull, but you can use a pillow to balance what is not covered. Generally, that's the head for some people because the foam rollers aren't quite as long as, at least half of us, I would say. Mine's going to look a little funny because I have less foam roller, so I'll do my best to set it up in a way that makes sense. So the foam roller goes along your spine. When you get on it with your long roller, start from where your tailbone is. Find that edge for you, and then you can lay back and let your chest open. Ideally, roller all the way up. I'm going to use this pillow under my head. It's going to give me enough support. My roller isn't quite where I'd love it on my chest. I'm going to scoot down a little bit. So much better. Now I really feel support between my shoulder blades, and I can feel my shoulder blades falling on either side of the foam roller. I could probably lay here for a long time. I would say a few minutes is probably good for most people. And my feet, as you'll notice, knees are bent, feet are on the floor, giving me a nice, stable place to work from. And I'm still going to continue trying to release everything else. You can move your arms around to find different places. If you move them up high, if you don't have this big pillow and they're up high and released out, you get more into your pec minor, which for a lot of you is going to be one of those, whoa, that's really tight places. More like straight out to the side is more the big pec major. Coming off of this, I think the nicest thing to do for yourself is just take a roll over and fall off of it so then you can get up from your side, not straining at all. So that is my guidance on chest opening. I hope that is helpful for you all. I am going to do a neck video soon. I really appreciate you all working with me this way during this time, and I really hope you're all feeling well, all your loved ones are feeling well, and for anyone who isn't, a safe, speedy recovery. It's a wild time out there, but I hope you're all finding space to feel some joy.